Many atheists object to those who believe in the existence of God, saying that though the existence of God can't conclusively be disproven, but neither can the existence of Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy or unicorns, that these two are on the same level. So they object on principle, presenting their ideas as being completely opposed to this idea of belief in the unseen. But when we look on closer analysis, we find that they themselves in fundamentals are actually in agreement, and they cannot escape agreement in the religious principle to which they object, which is belief in the unseen. Now, this belief is necessary as a prerequisite in all fields of material progress. Every scientific discovery has taken place on the basis of this principle. Now, take, for example, the Earth. There was a time when the concept of the world being round was an idea that was beyond comprehension. To the observable reality around each and every human being and what they saw with their naked eye, the Earth was flat. It was absurd to say that it was round. But it was then, in view of certain hypotheses, certain observations, that Galileo made an inferential leap, and he believed that this idea was possible. It wasn't established as an irrefutable fact. There wasn't undeniable evidence to support it. It was a hypothesis. Every idea starts with a hypothesis. There are observations that we have that indicate towards the possibility of this reality, and that is what we pursue. Eventually, of course, it becomes proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, through human experience, through the collective efforts of human society. But that initial stage is something that is extremely necessary. So the belief in that possibility, though it was not based on conclusive proof, was founded on inferences and from observations. At that time, this idea that he presented was condemned by those who failed to comprehend the true philosophy of belief in the unseen, and they took an approach of excessive skepticism. It was belief in the unseen, in the unknown potential that lies beyond our present comprehension, which has been the seed of scientific revolution since the beginning of humanity. The religious zealots of that time and the atheists of today have fallen prey to the same mistake. This principle of belief in the unseen is not restricted to the scientific realm alone, but it encompasses all aspects of life where progress occurs. This can apply to our individual personal development. It can apply to our societal development. It applies from every angle. Each time we, as individuals or as a society, take a step forward, it's based on belief in the unseen. Whether it's a political revolution, whether it was the pursuit of nuclear weapons and power, if it's an entrepreneur pursuing an opportunity or an inventor pursuing an idea and investing into it, it could be a scientist who's looking for a cure to a disease. We invest millions and millions of dollars into failed experiments because we believe in a possibility that here the disease and its cure could be found. Or it just could be as simple as a child taking his first step. Every action in the pursuit of progress is based on some inferences and observations which, although they might be incomplete in and of themselves, they collectively indicate towards a hidden possibility. So this is something that is a religious principle, and it's a scientific principle. It's a societal principle. It applies to all aspects of life. We invest millions and millions, billions of dollars into research, investing it into ideas that have not been proven yet, but ideas that seem promising based on some incomplete information that we have, some observations. So every idea that's pursued is based on this entrepreneurial and a curious spirit that's searching for the truth that is out there. So those who succumb to fears and doubts, and they fall prey to excessive skepticism, they fall into mediocrity. They're the ones who are unable to take the inherent risk that is necessary in every step of progress. Now, on the other hand, those who make the inferential leap into the possibilities of the unknown, they are the people who achieve greatness in every field of progress, whether it's secular progress or religious progress, whether it's individual or societal progress. Now, if at that time of uncertainty, when we're in the beginning stage of a hypothesis, if an objection is raised, and it's said that it's absurd that we pursue this idea until we can conclusively prove that it's valid, that it will be successful, then man would never have progressed past the Stone Age. So it's an absurdity to follow this level of skepticism, of cynicism, of the cynics who have existed in every age who rejected the possibility of an idea on such premises. So similar is the case with belief in the existence of God. The evidence that theists present are not proofs that unequivocally prove the existence of God, nor are they meant to be. They are meant to be sufficient evidence to necessitate the pursuit of the possibility of God, the hypothesis that a God should exist, and that we can experience him, that there are indications found everywhere that we should have an intelligent designer, a creator. Now, the purposeful organization of the universe is one of those evidences. the improbability of random progress, when we see the absurdity of believing that random variations and random mutations explain away so much of the perfection that is needed to guide these different steps of evolution, then that's also an indication that there should be an intelligent designer behind the complexity of this universe. Then we have the logical necessity for the cause of all causes. We have the testimonies of individuals throughout history and their experiences with God. These observations are not meant to prove the existence of God as a fact, but that the existence of God is a valid hypothesis that we as individuals, as a part of our personal growth, to develop an individual and personal relationship with our Creator that we must pursue. The evidence in support of the existence of God does not establish His existence, but it establishes our scientific responsibility to seek Him. If it could be proven to everybody unequivocally that God exists, then we would all turn into saints. There would no longer be any concept of free will left. This is why the promised Messiah ﷺ said that we reject this concept that somebody can be so holy that he can make other people into saints. At the end of the day, it's a personal journey, a journey that all of us are responsible to pursue. There are certain things in life that we experience, although we may not have scientific evidence that's conclusive for why it exists. For example, our consciousness and free will. Scientifically, it should not exist. Our mind should be nothing but an action and reaction, chemical reactions, electrical currents, things that everything can be measured. But still, on a daily basis, we experience that there is something beyond that action-reaction. There is a consciousness that we experience. There is a free will that we experience that is above those simple scientific realities that we can identify within our brain. So the rejection of belief in the unseen and the acceptance of excessive skepticism is a rejection of growth and the acceptance of stagnancy. To reject the possibility of the existence of God at the outset is to deprive ourselves of the discoveries that lie just beyond our present awareness. About this principle, Allah Almighty has said in the Holy Quran, describing the muttaqeen, that they are allazina yu'minuna bil ghayb. It is they who believe in the unseen. So the serious pursuit of the possibility of the existence of God is a basic responsibility of every rational individual. That's the starting point that Allah Ta'ala starts us at in the beginning of the Holy Quran as the basic definition of a muttaqi. So those who believe in the unseen are consistent in their beliefs. They apply this principle in both the material and the spiritual world.